What is up, all you GBA type people? This is Tom. I'm bringing you my Week 1 team builder against Lars and the Borussia Donphan, the Borussia Donphan. This is my third take of this video because Camtasia isn't working. You can hear the annoyance on my voice, but basically I'm very excited for this match. I'm excited to bring you guys this week. Not excited about recording because of this damn software, but the point is, what I'll be doing, obviously, is just talking about the matchup, talking about his team versus my team, what it looks like on paper, how the planning kind of went in a very accelerated manner. I don't want this to be too long. So, first we're going to look at his team right here on your screen. He has Kieran Black, my child, Tapu Fini, Crocodile, Cobalion, Mega Absol, Shaman, Komala, Tornadus Eye, Yanmega, Garbodor, and Gengar, both of which, Gengar and Yanmega, are his Z users. Now, looking at his team initially from the prep, a lot of, his team probably, if you ask me, is one of the best on paper, just off from an offensive look. Basically, looking at Kieran Black, Mega Absol, even Gengar, Yanmega are going to be a lot of his good, solid breakers. He has decent Scarf options in Crocodile, Cobalion, Tornadus Eye, Gengar, things like that. He has good options to set up hazards, Garbodor. He's good reasons to get, good ways of getting rid of it in terms of Komala and Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini being super reliable in that department. And then, just you can't really sleep on a team that has Kieran Black or Mega Absol, or of course, Z and Mega, and then potentially Z Gengar. But in my prep, looking at his team, he really only has like 2, maybe even 1 resist to both Scissor and Swellow, being in Cobalion. And then offensively, his team does a really good job pressuring mine with Kieran Black, Mega Absol, and then some sort of Scarfer based on my speed tiers, because he needs to bring a Mon to outspeed Swellow base 125. So that Mon could be something like Crook, it could be Gengar, it could be Tornadus, it could also just be Speed Boost and Mega. So we'll see on that department. And then defensively, I think something like Shaman, Tapu Fini could also be really good options. He could bring a bulky Cobalion, he could bring Intimidate Crocodile. Not sure how well Crocodile would help him in the long run, being a defensive set, but he needs to get rocks up somehow. Cobalion or Crook could accomplish that for him. Mons, I don't see him bringing maybe or Komala and Garbodor, just because I think they're a bit too passive. They have their spots later on, but I don't think this week is going to be that week. So we're gonna go into my team. I predict him to bring, like I said, Kieran Black, Mega Absol, Crocodile, maybe definitely Cobalion, probably Shaman and Fini, and then some sort of X factor that I just had to prepare for. So, gonna go into my team. First of all, we have Scarf Landorus. Now, I went with Scarf Landorus over something like Rock Polish, Z move, just because I felt like he was gonna bring a Scarf user, and if I was bringing Scarf Landorus, and I kind of got a feel for what his Scarfer is, I could take advantage. But this is just running, Earthquake, Superpower, Stone Edge, U-Turn. Earthquake is there for just general coverage. It hits the vast majority of his team, really nicely, especially being adamant and a lot of attack investment. The attack investment is there so that U-Turn always knocks out Mega Absol. The HP is there so I could take 2 max HP, max defense, bold Shaman HP ices, as well as not take all that much damage from a Sucker Punch from Mega Absol. Superpower is there to take on Crocodile super effectively. Stone Edge is there to hit the 2 things that are immune to Earthquake, being Tornadus Eye and Yanmega, and U-Turn is there just for pivot. So this thing is really nice, and of course the speed there is just to outspeed his fastest Mon, being Mega Absol, with the Scarf. So that's this Landorus. My main objective with this is just to get a lot of pressure on his team, and to ensure that I don't get my Scarf knocked off, or to not show the Scarf super early in the match if I don't need to. Next up, we have one of my 2 walls this week. It's going to be Rotom Wash. This is going to be a typical pivot set. It has Thunder Wave in the case I can suss out his Scarfer, potentially cripple it when, of course, Misty Surge is not up, and then finally Pain Split to allow me to take on a lot of his problems, because this thing is going to be bearing a lot of the special damage from the majority of his team. This thing takes on potentially Scarf Tornadus Eye, kind of Scarf Gengar. It also allows me to take on Yanmega's Stab, being Air Slash, and then of course the investment. This initially was a bold set, a bold mix set, but I kind of had it, I tailored it more towards special defense so I could take Earth Powers from Kieran Black a little bit better. It also allowed me to live 2 with the leftovers, and then Pain Split down Kieran Black in the case that it is Scarf, and I can get up a lot of HP and recover myself almost back up to full HP, while also crippling whatever wants to come in, whatever wants to pound into Rotom, and ensure that I could just keep Rotom healthy while also crippling Lars's mons. But Volt Switch is there for pivot, Hydro is there for coverage, hits Crook, super effectively. That's pretty much the point of Rotom. It's going to be wall this week, and I think it's going to serve me well just based on the investment I put into it. Next up, we have a very nice partner to Rotom, if you ask me. Basically, this scissor set is very straightforward as you're seeing it. Max HP, max attack. All of his mons, barring, I think, Kamala, which speed ties with Scissor, which I'm going to U-turn out on anyway, are faster than Scissor, so there's really no reason for me to run any sort of speed. The HP on Scissor in this matchup basically allowed me to take a HP Fire from a Life Orb Kyurem Black from full. So basically, if he's Life Orb, is the only way that he can knock me out with an HP Fire, because I'm not running Aquaberry, basically, but the only way that he can live a Bullet Punch from Scissor, if it's a one-on-one matchup, is if he's Berry. Otherwise, Bullet Punch pretty much knocks him out. I also have Iron Head there to get off, a lot more damage against something like potentially, Feeny or even Kyurem Black. Superpower is there to hit the thing that's going to resist both those moves, being Cobalion, and of course U-turn is there for pivot. U-turn is always going to knock out the Mega Absol, as well as get off big damage against Crocodile, and of course pivot is super nice. So pairing Rotom with Scissor is super cool, and these are two I think are going to work well in tandem to allow me to get into matchups that are much more nice for me in this overall matchup. Next up we have Swellow. This is going to be a very straightforward set, like I said. This thing was tailored to outspeed a plus speed, whether it's Naive or Jolly or Timid, Mega Absol, max special attack, enough HP to live a Sucker Punch from full. Boom Burst Heat Wave pretty much allows me the most coverage that I need for his team. Boom Burst hits everything, and then Heat Wave hits the things that's, not going to be all that effective against being Cobalion. Cobalions is really only resist to this. And then U-turn is there for pivot, Tailwind is there just as a filler. I didn't need, Bird Move, I didn't need any sort of HP coverage, so I just put Tailwind in case I need it late game. It allows me to facilitate a sweep or something with, whatever is left or basically in the late game. But that's Swellow. Very straightforward. Choice specs. Really nice. U-turn allows me to get out on anything if certain mons aren't in kill range, or if I just want to get off pivots and then so something else can take out the mon that I'm facing. Next up we have another Spadef mon, being this Diancie here. It is running Berry. It's running Moonblast coverage for the majority of his mons, and Earth Power is there for things like Cobalion, as well as Gengar, so that those two can't come in for free against this. Explosion is there to take off big damage in case something like Tapu Fini wants to try and defog in my face. Also allows me to get big damage off on Shaman. And Stealth Rocks are obviously a priority because 25% to Tornadus and Kyurem Black is super nice, and 50% to Yen Mega is also nice too. Obviously it's very important for this matchup just to get that residual damage on those very big threats. But not running Diamond Storm because I don't think it's super necessary, because it only hits Kyurem Black super effectively. Mainly this thing takes on Kyurem's stabs, Ice Beam, Dragon moves, and then it could kind of also take on Gengar, kind of also take on Yen Mega. It's obviously not going to recover because it's not running leftovers, but the Berry is there so that in case he goes for Iron Head, I can get off a big chunk with Moonblast from Kyurem Black, or if Mega Absol is in and he goes for Iron Tail. If he tries to hit an Iron Tail, yes, I say try and hit an Iron Tail, because if he hits it and the Berry activates, I live an Iron Tail. I think it does like upwards of, I think, max 56%, and then I knock it out straight with no special attack investment with a Moonblast. That's kind of the idea here. The two Spadef walls being Rotom and Diancie, and then of course, the other pivot mons. This is going to be really nice at pretty much stopping Mega Absol and potentially Kyurem, which were the two things that I had most in mind being a problem. Finally, we just have another very straightforward set. Dark Pulse, Fire Blast, Sludge Bomb, Nasty Plot, Mega Houndoom, Max because it speed ties with Mega Absol, and then just all the coverage it's pretty self-explanatory. Sludge Bomb is there for Tapu Fini, and then Dark Pulse and Fire Blast hits the vast majority of his team for neutral or super effective damage. Kyurem Black's neutral, Fini, Sludge Bomb. Crook doesn't really want to take a Fire Blast if it doesn't need to, and really shouldn't if it's not scarfed. Cobalion gets roasted by Fire Blast, Shaman Fire Blast, Komala. I mean, if he brings Komala, it's kind of liability on him because it allows me to get into something for free because Komala can only do so much. Tornadus doesn't want to take really anything, and Mega anything. Garbodor doesn't want to take anything, and then Gengar, well, yeah, Gengar. Gengar only really works if it is Scarfed in this matchup, or if it's Z-Hypnosis. So that's what Scissors for with the priority banded Bullet Punch. But that's the team. You know, we got one setup Mon, we got 3 Choicers, all of which have, you know, Pivot, and then 2 Spadef Mons that take on the necessary problems that I deem are the biggest threats. No Roserade, just because I feel like this matchup doesn't really call for it. A lot of super effective damage against it. Mesprit, a little bit too passive. Cryo doesn't, I mean, it can, you know, hit things super effectively with ice, but he has too many things that can come in and take those ice hits if I'm locked in, or if, you know, I'm weak, things like that. No Aloe, too passive, and Komao was on here. I believe like a sub-Salic set was considered, but just a little bit too risky, and it put me in a position where Feeny became much more of a threat if I didn't bring Rotom Wash over it. So that's the team. Hope you guys are looking forward to the match tomorrow. I'll be bringing that to you. I believe at 4 o'clock on Sunday. This will be going up at 4 o'clock on Saturday. I'm very excited for our first week of the GBA. Hope we come out with a win. Hope you guys are very excited. And I will see you guys then for our Week 1 match. And until then, let's go Sharpedos. It's crunch time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.